So I'd say in the last year was an adjustment for me because I went from, I'd say, up until a year ago, it was all love to me all the time. And then the white party took on a life of its own. Fanatics got a lot bigger. We got in multiple businesses. And so then you had, someone start that narrative on the bunny hops. You had someone start the narrative on you baby with the hugs. And so then I started asking questions, because I was oblivious to it all. Okay, and people told me that narrative was out there. So I think what I always want to do is be super aware and make sure that I'm always doing so much for everybody to make sure that they feel like the relationship is great for them. And so I'd say I'm more sensitive to make sure that no one, I don't want to ever do anything with somebody that's not great for them. I'd say I'm more sensitive to make sure I'm doing that today. Someone just told me something a couple weeks ago, hey, one person who doesn't like me because they don't get invited to the white party is telling people, well, all these people perform for Michael. So I'm making sure, hey, I don't want you to perform unless you really want to perform. And by the way, I'm always trying to help you. There's so many businesses. If you think about it, look at Jay-Z. He's an investor in Fanatics. We own Fanatics Sportsbook together. We own Mitchell Ness together. Mm-hmm. Look at Travis. We're doing the collabs together. Look at Meek. He was an investor in Lids. By the way, Meek's single best investment in his life. Hope I won't get in trouble for saying this, but he put $200,000 in Lids and got $8 million back.
Wow.
Okay.
Go ahead, Meek. Shout out to Meek.
Yeah. So I always want my friends to do great, and I'm always working to do things that are great for my friends. So does it bother me? Look, I am the most thick-skinned individual you'll meet. I mean, I'm the most self-deprecating person. I love to make fun of myself. When I put out the baseball thing and show how uncoordinated I am, and everyone makes fun of me, I think it's funny. Does it hurt me a little bit if it's hurting somebody else? Yes. That's what I'm aware of. I think if I want everything I do to be great for people. I don't ever want to do anything but help people.
I read somewhere that you were trying to sell a stake in Fanatics too?
Completely made up.
That wasn't true. Okay.
By the way, it's crazy now that I've learned about, and look, you guys deal with this because when you get more well-known, people just make narrative. How many times has anyone ever said anything about you that's completely untrue?
A million times.
So somebody reaches out and says, hey, we heard that you turned off your IPO, that you were going to go public and you're now not going public, and also that you're selling $1 billion in your company. So we've never even had a discussion about going public. Will we eventually go public? Most likely. Mm-hmm. Have we had one discussion with one bank about it? Not one. Okay. And by the way, we told them we've had no discussions about going public. We've had no discussions about selling, $1 billion. It's just completely made up. You know what they said? But you just did the white party's great clickbait. We're running the story anyway. We got a source.
Wow. Wow.
Okay.
Shout
out to the New York Post, who I generally love.
Wow.
They just ran the story.
It was BS.
Completely made up.
After they asked.
And we told them it was completely untrue.
One more thing I want to talk to you about. Speak to us about the role Governor Shapiro played just in Pennsylvania. I love all of the things that he's doing with probation reform and criminal justice reform, but a lot of that started because you, when he was AG, got him on the Meek case. I like Governor Shapiro a lot, by the way.
So first of all, I hate politics. Mm-hmm. I don't ever want to be involved in politics. So I think it's just bad, okay? Because generally politics can't get anything done and people just fight over everything. Mm-hmm. So I generally try to stay away from politics. That's it. I love Josh Shapiro, okay? Josh Shapiro, I met when he was the county commissioner of the county I live in. And he was trying to get to me. I was trying to avoid him like the plague because I don't want to be around anyone in politics. And I think I actually wrote a $25,000 donation to not have to meet with him, okay? And then he asked my chief of staff, could he have a meeting in my office one day? And he walked by me in the hallway and started having a conversation. I'm like, oh, this guy's actually really smart. And so I've known him for a long time. Josh gets 100% of the credit. I called Josh the day when Meek got sentenced to 2 to 4 years in prison in November, I think it was 12th of 2017. I called the governor of Pennsylvania. He was attorney general of Pennsylvania and the mayor of Philadelphia. I thought this would be easy. By the way, getting a black person out of jail, that shit is not easy.
Who you telling?
Michael?
Yeah.
Tell us more.
That shit is not easy.
Tell us other things we don't know.
So I'm saying that in a sarcastic way. Maybe my delivery wasn't good. But so I called him guys, he didn't do anything. He popped a wheel in a motorcycle. You gotta let him out. The governor's like, well, I don't have the rights to let him out. The attorney general was Josh originally said to me, don't get involved in this. This will be bad for you. And I said, Josh, I love you. You're wrong. Okay. And by the way, if you go back to November of 2017, every single person I knew said, don't get involved in supporting Meek. The only people that stood up for him was Jay and Dez and me. Everyone else said, stay the fuck away from the situation. It will be. And by the way, Sixers fans were canceling season tickets because of this. Okay. I was getting destroyed in
It's
November,
so crazy because
December.
it seemed like online, like the support was so big.
Not in the first month or two. What happened was we hired like 30 investigators who actually went out and found out that the judge was crooked, okay? That actually the people that arrested him originally, he used to always say to me, Meek would always say to me, Michael, if a black man points a gun at a police officer, that's called
Dead.
suicide, okay? And I never thought about it because he said it to me, like he always wanted to prove to me that he never pointed the gun at people. I'm like, Meek, I don't give a shit what you did when you were 19 years old. Who cares? You're a different person. And so anyway, we hired the investigators. The investigators proved, the first cop came forward and said, no, he never pointed the gun. The whole thing's a lie. We were stealing drug dealers' money. It was like, we were like training day. This cop told us. We said, we signed an affidavit. He said, yes. That's ultimately how the case got overturned. So Josh then turned and said, Michael, you were right. Get him out of prison. But when you get him out of prison, you have to make this about something much more than Meek. So Josh gave us the original idea to start the Reform Alliance. It didn't come from me, didn't come from Jay, didn't come from Robert Kraft, didn't come from Meek. It came from Josh Shapiro.